Strixhaven, capturing that college life where the more people you smooch, the better you are at killing things. In the world of D&D, Strixhaven is a magical university that sits at the heart of a plane known as Arcavior. This is a world pulled straight from Magic the Gathering, which released a Strixhaven School of Mages set earlier this year, in fact. Many of the same monsters, characters you'll encounter, even the 5 different colleges that make up the campus of Strixhaven University, all had their origins in the Magic the Gathering set. In a nutshell, Strixhaven is made up of 5 different colleges. There's the College of Quandrix, which is all about being a D&D, a magical math nerd. There's the College of Lorehold, which is all about scribing things and knowing secrets. There's the College of Witherbloom, who are all about life and also death, and often both preferably at the same time. Silverquill, who are about looking like you shop, like you would shop at Hot Topic, even though you actually shop at like Nordstrom's or something. And then, of course, there's Prismari, who are where all of the theater kids go to learn how to shoot fire, lightning, ice, and acid from their hands. Strixhaven, A Curriculum of Chaos, is the newest book from Wizards of the Coast. It is a hybrid campaign setting and adventure for Dungeons & Dragons. It will, over the course of 4 different adventures, take you through 4 separate years at Strixhaven University. It will take your characters from 1st through 10th level, and it is basically, if you want to capture the feeling of going to a magical wizarding school, maybe an academy where you might learn spells and charms and why you need to pronounce it Leviosa, not Leviosa, then this is the book for you. It has pretty much everything you could possibly need to pretend that you're at a wizard school, or a sorcerer school, or a cleric school. In fact, thanks to some of the new player options that they introduce in the book, even if you have no magical abilities at all, say you're playing a barbarian, you can still fit right in the hallowed halls of Strixhaven University. The other one that feels like they're really nailing down the oh, you're at a magic school, you're dealing with magic problems, are the new demons called the Demogoths. These fiends love suffering and misery, and they will bargain with you for forbidden knowledge. They've got some of the most fun role-playing mechanics I've seen on a monster. You can bargain with them to gain a supernatural boon out of the DMG, and there's a price for it. You'll lose hit points kind of every time you finish a long rest, and it feels like, oh yeah, I made a dark evil bargain with some creepy thing for power. In Strixhaven, you'll find 5 new backgrounds, 10 new feats, 5 new spells, and 1 new player character race. The 5 new backgrounds are actually one of my favorite things about the book. They are backgrounds that prepare you to join one of the 5 magical colleges at Strixhaven. So you might be a Lorehold initiate, a Prismari student, a Silverquill hopeful. Each of these backgrounds is a little bit more powerful than the typical D&D background because it gives you one of the new feats in the book. And they're all feats that are kind of associated with their magical house. And the feats do a lot for you. They give you access to extra spells if you're a spellcaster, and they let you cast the special house spell, one of the 5 houses, 5 new spells that's included in the book. My own personal favorite is Prismari Student because I was a theater kid, and this is very much that. You learn how to express yourself either through dance, performance, sculpture, art, or something else, and as a result, you get to shoot Thunderwave, Chromatic Orb, Flaming Spheres, and you can teleport people wherever you want them to be. So there are 5 new spells, all in all, 1 for each of the 5 different houses. My favorite one is called Vortex Warp, which is associated with Quandrix College. The thing that I love the most about it is a spell you can use to teleport an ally or an enemy anywhere on the battlefield. There aren't too many that are like that in D&D. Normally you have to teleport a willing ally, so you can decide, hey, you, get over there. You can't use the spell to throw someone off a cliff, sadly, but you can, technically, basically transport someone into liquid magma. There's also 8 new magic items in Strixhaven, a Curriculum of Chaos. My personal favorite is one that I wish I had in real life. It is the Bottle of Boundless Coffee. This is basically a decanter of endless water, except it is always filled with coffee that is either warm or iced. It is as caffeinated as you want, and it never runs out. If you can think of a better magic item to fit at home on a book that's all about adventuring at Magic College, I invite you to tell me. They're a race of owl folk. They're adorable. I love the way they look, but they're a little bit boring, and I think they suffer from the problem that most of the flying races in D&D do, which is that they can fly, and it's powerful. It's great. It's huge. Like, you'll have DMs who ban that stuff flat out, but that's kind of all they do. They're proficient with stealth as well, but they don't have anything that makes them feel like, oh, they're a cool owl person, you know, versus like, oh, I'm a cool bird person, you know, I'm an Aarakocra or whatever. Like, they don't feel quite as distinct. The only bird people that do feel like their own thing are the Kenku, and they can't talk. The other big thing that Strixhaven does is it gives you the tools to run college or school or academy life. You aren't just expected to follow the adventure. They're very clear that each of the 4 adventures takes place over its own year, just like a certain set of wizarding school books. But what do you do in the in-between time? You might find a job, you might participate in extracurricular activities, and because it's D&D, everything's a little bit mercenary in that it is all for the purpose of winning friends and influencing people, and if you're lucky, falling in love. Because thanks to the way the relationship mechanics work, the more friends you have, the better you'll do on your tests. But if you want to succeed both in school and in life, where you're trying to murder goblins or mephits or robots or deal with any of the new monsters like Daemogoth or Auric blood mages that they introduce in the book, you want to have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a romantic partner. You want to have a beloved. The way that friendships work is you get like a D4 that you can add as a student dice, and like you can call on it once per session to roll a D4 and add it to any skill check. Skill checks are honestly a lot of it. Like this adventure feels like it's very much kind of emulating, you know, that like actual play style kind of stuff where you'll make a lot of skill checks. I think there's probably the most skill checks I've seen in a D&D adventure in this book. So you'll want to have like friends. But if you have a beloved, if you've got if you've romanced an NPC, to borrow a phrase from BioWare, then you get inspiration, and you can use that inspiration way more often. You get like after every rest, you get inspiration equal to the number of like beloveds you have, and there's no limit. So Strixhaven Wizards of the Coast wants you to be incredibly polyamorous, prolifically polyamorous in the game. That's right, they are telling you to get out there, kiss as many people as you can, do all of it together. No, put labels on it, yes, like put labels, but not boundaries. Monogamy is for suckers and chumps who don't want to punch goblins really good. I think that it has a lot of cool mechanics. I think that it is a step closer to feeling like if you want to play an adventure and have it feel like an actual play show, like if you want to have something that feels like you're playing through Dimension 20, or like you're doing something that Critical Role might do. Any of the shows that kind of blend humor and character alongside the adventures. This is a huge step in that direction. There's a lot more like lighthearted whimsy. There's a lot more opportunities for role-playing and interacting with NPCs. Is it the best adventure they've ever done? Are the character options like the most powerful? No, some of them are a little underwhelming. And I will say, like, this book is like the wizard school book, right? I almost wish there were more than just 5 new magic spells. Like, they do some real creative, interesting stuff with them, and I can kind of understand like not wanting to add a glut of new stuff to make Strixhaven like another book that you have to have if you're playing a character, especially with like a revamped core rule set coming out in like another 2 years, 3 years. But like it feels like there should be more magic in the book. You know, this is your chance to make weird tweaks on new spells, or you know, do something like that. But that said, it captures the campus life extremely well. If you were hoping to find a book with more character options, then you should check out our video on Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, which includes a ton of new spells and fun stuff. I'm JR from Bulls. Thanks for watching. Bye!